You know, there was something kind of familiar about this place. I mean, I knew I'd been here before, but I just couldn't think of when. I'd headed out north and east from the city, and on the northern horizon I could see this storm building up. So I headed for it. But it wasn't until I was practically right underneath the storm, setting up my tripod to shoot these time-lapse sequences, that I realized that I'd done almost the exact same thing at the exact same place back in June. But everything looked different, of course. The crops that had just been seedlings when I was out here the last time are now fully grown. The ditches were lush and full of grass. And the canola had already bloomed, dropped its petals, and set seed. Fawns that had been newborns back then were following their mothers and bouncing along behind them. And all the rain and the heat from the summer sun had really done its work. The crops looked fantastic, even though some of them were knocked down a little bit by the heavy winds. And yeah, it did look all kind of familiar. But when you enjoy driving around the back roads as much as I do, it doesn't really matter if you see the same place 3 or 4 or 5 or a dozen times. Because every time you see it, it looks a little bit different. And that's the thing that gives me the greatest joy.